Ronnie and welcome to my channel and the Saturday Stash Dive. And what I pulled out was Cool Kid, which is a few years old. And I never had any 12 by 12 of this, but I did have that 6 by 6 paper pad. So for the back of my paper, that stripe paper is Paper Studio, and I did gut it, even if it is really thin paper, and put white cardstock on top, which is American Crafts. And that orange paper there, it was just a scrap I found, and it says brilliant and teacher and neat and curious, just all kinds of words on it to deal with school. And look how crooked that is. You can tell from here that it's crooked, but I won't notice that till later, and I'll have to trim it. But at least this time it will not be glued down. That orange and white stripe, well, I guess it's kind of a cream colored. It was a scrap in there, so I have no idea. Well, all of these were scraps, except the 6 by 6 that I pulled out for the photo mats. That green stripe one, that banner, it was a banner to start with. It had actually came in a 2-page kit years ago. And I think about every one of the 2-page kits that I had that I'd purchased off HSN one time, I made into 1-page, single pages, yeah. And so I had leftovers, and this was one of the leftovers, and I guess I threw it in here thinking it would go, and it does. And I will be using it finally today. Oh, thrilled with that. And I'm just trying to get my scraps here straight. Yeah, that T-square ruler, I don't know how much it helps me or not, because I do not notice until later. A lot of times they are not straight, and I end up messing with them later. But yeah, I do try to get them straight. I probably should stand up more often while I'm doing it, but I just sit there, relax, and do my layout and don't even think about standing up most of the time. I used to, a long time ago, stand up and scrap, but it's been a while. Those pictures there, that's my grandson, and he was in kindergarten. And if you see in the background, of course, paper's on top of the pictures now, so it's kind of hard to see. But there is a bouncy house. Well, there's more than one thing. If you can actually look down past the bouncy house, there's other things there. And I don't remember if he was waiting for all the things. I don't know if it worked like that or how it worked. But they were in line waiting. And so my title is going to have something to do with that. That poem, Everything Important in Life I learned in kindergarten. Anyway, that's what my title is, only then it's going to say like how to stand in line. And this was play day, so this was in late spring, right before school let out for the summer. So apparently he learned that year how to stand in line, because he wasn't that good at it before then. And he was really good this day. You could tell he was getting tired of standing, but he was next in line to go. And so he was looking forward to that. And of course, there's a whole line of kids behind him. And some of them was looking through the fence, at all the things that there was to play with. And there was more than what was there. This was like at the edge of the playground, and that was actually a street, and they just had it blocked off. But yeah, I always like to go take pictures on days like that with the grandkids so I can scrap them. I'm lucky when if my daughter went or daughter-in-law or whoever went, sent me more than 1 or 2 pictures I could take to my heart's content when I'd go. And, sometimes I'd have to work and couldn't get off, and I'd be lucky enough that I'd get to go because I'd be off. For a few years there, I had a job where I worked 3 days on, 2 off, 3 on, 2 off. So there was plenty of days I was off and plenty of days that I got to take pictures. The reason I put these pictures like I did, I wanted to make sure the bouncy house and the other things down behind there showed. Since I didn't actually take pictures of them, I was taking pictures of the kids. But now that I'm actually scrapbooking it, I wanted to make sure what was there showed. So I moved his picture down. And the part of the picture that I'm covering up is just a pole and an empty chair where a teacher was sitting, but she was over to the side. And so You could just barely see her from the back, so she got cropped out. I'm punching out some stars here, and I'm using that star paper, so it's kind of being picky where I punched it first, and then I just punched, but I wanted some stars to show up on the gray paper too. And I'm only going to put one up on foam tape. They're not that big, and I didn't want the biggest ones on foam tape. So the one that I did put was like slightly bigger than the others, but I should have punched on the other side of the punch. Since it was a small piece of paper, I couldn't get them all at one time. And so I ended up with the smallest ones actually. I'm using my smash pen to go around to put some double lines across around here, and the messier they are, the better I like them. I don't like them real straight. I tried one time using a ruler and doing it, and I wasn't happy with it. I thought, I want the doodle look. I showed you what I was using here. It's the black velvet with Heidi Swap color shine, and I might have got a little carried away putting that on, but it's okay. Here, I was trying to think. I did that because I was trying to think, what else can I do? What else can I put on here? Because I didn't have that much to choose from that would actually go with the page. And I finally decided I'd punch out fun. And I used I think it's a 2-inch punch. No, 1.5. Yeah, 1.5-inch punch with the stars to put on the back. And you might have seen me flipping it back and forth because I was deciding whether I wanted white or the gray stars, and I ended up picking the gray stars. And I'm going to put a tag up there. I don't know why I just didn't cut it off to start with. It's all glued down up there and it's not going to fit. And you're going to see me try. But then I think, oh, I'll just cut it off, and that works. So yeah, I cut it off and I just put it up there on the top to fill in up there. And that fun I am putting it on foam tape so that it pops up a little bit because I don't have that much on foam tape. I do have the picture on foam tape. And I'm going to find, yeah, there it is, that star, that arrow. It is with corrugated paper, and it matched the background paper there, the oranges that I'm used back there. So I went ahead and put it there, and I couldn't get it to fit. So I finally gave up and cut it off so that it would fit there. I'm going to finish off my layout with some enamel dots, and I looked for black, but I couldn't find any very quickly, so I gave up and took the orange because I did see it. And that's it. That's my layout. But I want to thank you all for joining me for Saturday's Stash Time. And if anybody really wants to join me and do layouts on Saturdays too, I'd be glad to have a partner, or 2 or 3. But this is my layout. And yeah, there's my tag that wouldn't fit with the whole tag that I was trying to force in there. And see the bouncy house? Yeah, there's the bouncy house. And here's my title. That's why I said I might got a little carried away. I wanted something to go on there, but I didn't think about how small those letters were. And so you kind of have to be looking good to see what the title says. And there's my corrugated arrow. And see, I said it right that time. And there's my punch with the fun. And I do love that punch. I've had it a long time. And there's my final layout again. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. And if you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. If you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And it looks like we're going to have a drawing soon. I'll be giving away something because if I hit 1,000, I'll be doing a drawing. But thanks again. Bye. Have a happy scrappy week.